Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna say it.
Say what? You went whoopity whoopie whoopie like that.
I know a way whoopity whoopity whoopity.
Well, then what'd you do?
I don't remember.
Titan, let's go. So the basis of this tier list is going to be S, A, B, C, D, and S is going to be like super strong and scary balloons or super difficult. And
I wouldn't really say you're super scary or super difficult, but just more along the lines of just like difficult to pop, yeah?
I guess we'll take into each consideration, and you guys definitely let us know in the comments below what we're messing up or what you guys would have changed as we go along, just because we're just kind of going off of this thing. And starting it off is going to be this beautiful blue balloon. What do you think about this blue balloon?
The beautiful blue balloon. This one actually can be a little bit difficult to pop at the start of the game, because you really don't need to worry too much about blue balloons in the late game, but it's more for like beginning, right?
First thing that pops in my head is round 10. Because like how many times you lost to round 10 because those blues pop out so crazy, you know?
First thing that pops in my head is round 4. Because that's
yeah.
when you get that first rush of blue balloons. So I would definitely like classify this under more of like an A tier, maybe a B tier, because like when it comes to blue balloons, obviously you're not going to have a hard time popping them in the late game, but definitely in the early game is when you need to worry about these bad boys a little bit more, right?
That's true. Let's do B for blue. B for blue balloon. And
oh my goodness, not this again.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it because I don't really know about round 4 because I'm more of a Chimps player myself. So I start at round 6. But
yeah, but you're also talking to somebody who has every single map blackboarded, brother.
Well, then you should put this at a D since it's just so easy for you. All right.
Oh my goodness. All right, so we have ceramic balloons now. Where would you put these ceramic balloons to start?
The ceramic. I mean, it's so this one's a little bit more difficult for me because like automatically you want to be like S because round 63, right? But then when you have round 63 down, it's like it's a D tier little balloon. But
so I guess we should kind of like classify that, right? Like, are we going to be basing this off of like beginner maps? Are we going to be basing this off of expert maps? Because ceramic balloons on like, we'll say Dark Castle are like 100 times harder than like ceramic balloons on Monkey Meadow, right?
100%.
And also we have the ceramic balloons on half cash mode. We have the ceramic balloons on Chimps mode and poppable, all that other fun stuff. Let's not get too much into that. So what do you think?
It has to be better than a B for blue. I mean, obviously I want to say C for ceramic. So maybe an A.
I think an A is a pretty good spot, especially if you're a little bit newer to balloons. So ceramic balloons can be kind of difficult to pop.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, 76, right. 63, that could be just a little rough for some people. Okay, next we have the Moab. Now the guy has its own little battle too, because I hear this name go backwards and forwards. I hear it called M-O-A-B, a Moab, a Mab, a Moab. So that alone automatically gives this guy kind of like an S tier presence just because he's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Controversial.
Indecisive. Like with the Moab balloon and stuff like that, like we have to remember like the Moab balloon isn't the most difficult Moab balloon out there, right? Like you could deal with it with like a Bloon Jitsu Ninja Monkey, you can deal with it with a Moab Mauler. This is actually kind of one of the easier balloons to pop. Even though I say the blue balloon, we put it in B, I think the Moab balloon is more of like a C tier balloon, and just in my opinion.
Okay, then if we do that, then we have to do this then.
But why? Because like the blue balloons on round 4 are 100 times harder than the Moab balloon on round 40.
This is just coming from me like playing a lot of Chimps. Like the Moab round 40 can be a lot of RNG sometimes. If you want to just nail it right, or if you want to do a no ability run, round 40 can really put a stint to that just because bad things can happen. So, but I get what you're saying. Like after a while, Moabs are just like super easy and you can take down with a ninja. Okay, I'll
you can take it down with like the never miss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess I could deal with like the blue balloon being in C, but I still think it's like a hard B or high B, low A tier.
Okay, because it's B for balloon.
And then we have white balloons up next.
What do you think about this one? I don't even know what to say about these. All I know is the ice tower just can't function.
Well, in the worst game in the world, aka BT Battles 2, they're a little bit harder to pop, but in BT6, I think like the white balloons, the black balloons, they're like super easy to deal with. So I think like the white balloons should like be on the lowest tier of the list because like when they pop out, they really don't make a difference. Even if you're going for like a full like ice monkey strat, you really don't notice these guys interfering too much, right?
That's true. And then yeah, it's a rare case when you actually forget the right equipment and you're just like, oh no, I can't pop the white balloon. I like that. So we're a D then?
Easy D tier.
Easy D tier. I like that. Okay. What about a green balloon. The first thing I think is Christmas, because why not? Christmas has green stuff.
Green balloons, I think it's like another low tier because I'm trying to think of like any time that I've actually ever struggled with green balloons, and not a single time has ever popped in my head. So I think this would definitely be like another D tier because
Oof.
Come on now, man. Like, it's a green balloon. It's not like a rainbow regen fortified blue balloon.
I feel that because the first thing that pops in my head, like I said, is Christmas. It has nothing to do with this game because I don't even know there's some being in the game.
I don't even know why. Where did Christmas come from?
Because they're green and Christmas is green. I don't think about balloons because it's not like you don't ever even see this balloon. Like, it's just a green balloon. What even round does it come on? Like 7 or 8 or something? The next one we have here is a ZOMG.
ZOMG. This classic ZOMG. The bane of everybody's existence whenever they're playing on any hard modes, aka half cash mode, because these guys can actually be a little bit of a pain on half cash mode, or Chimps mode sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. This is actually, though, like on Chimps, you're kind of already stacked by that point. You rarely lose to a ZOMG. So I'd want to like naturally just say like an A or an S just because it can be difficult, especially on half cash, but it's really not the hardest balloon to pop. You want to...
I can respect that, but another mode that really pops in my head is going to be Chimps, and more specifically round 98.
Okay, but that's a mixture of every balloon. That's not just a ZOMG. You're just kind of like...
That's a mixture of BFBs and ZOMGs. I think round 98 is definitely probably one of the hardest rounds to pop, or one of the hardest rounds to deal with.
You're just putting them all into one section here. We're talking about just the ZOMG.
But I'm not, though. Like, the ZOMGs can be difficult to pop, especially in Chimps, especially in the higher tiered rounds. I'm going to put it like this. How many times have you died to round 98?
Like a bajillion, but not 80.
Exactly.
Okay. What about this? What about this? 97. 97. What's that? 2 ZOMGs. You lose sometimes.
2 fortified ZOMGs.
Yeah.
I personally, me being a professional Bloons TD6 player and BTD Balloons 2 player, I have never personally died to a ZOMG. Actually, you know what? Speaking of BTD Balloons 2, why don't we go ahead and throw a little bit of BTD Balloons 2 in the mix? Fortified ZOMGs. ZOMGs in general. Those things are a pain to deal with. Put that sucker in S tier, A tier.
Really?
Even.
Well, if you're going off
ZOMGs and Battles 2 are a pain to deal with.
If you're going off of Battles 2, then just everything should be in no specific order because it just depends on the game you're playing and if you get desynced or not. So you want to go S or A for this guy in BTD6?
Let's just do A. I think A is a pretty decent category.
Okay, we just battled like for 20 minutes on that one balloon. Okay, the next one. Oh, Jesus, here we go with this one, Titan.
Oh, man.
We got to change this already.
We have the classic camo regen fortified red balloon, the most impossible balloon in BT Battle 6 to deal with. So go ahead and create a new tier. I mean, you created a couple tiers there, but yes. Put this bad boy into God tier because you know there's no way you're actually gonna be able to pop it.
Where'd the S tier go?
You deleted the S tier.
Oh, no. Okay, let's try that again. All right, okay. Next one is the black balloon. That could just be easy. We could throw it with the white balloon because they're pretty similar.
Easy.
I mean, yeah, there's not much difference. The lead balloon. Oh my God,
now,
this one.
When it comes to the lead balloon, what's the first round that pops into your head?
Not having anything ready for 28 and I lose constantly, so I automatically think of an A tier.
I personally think of round 59 because round 59 you get like a massive rush of what I think like 60 to 80 camo lead balloons that can be a bit of a pain, especially if you forget to get camo detection. Round 59.
That's definitely true. So we could say an A.
Oh, we could say an A for sure.
The next one is the almighty, the speedy, the quick, the pink balloon. And the first thing I think is like higher tier just because sometimes those things just zip through and you just get kind of screwed over.
I'm thinking more of like mid tier because like unless you're playing on like rounds 800, like the pink balloons really aren't that hard to deal with, especially if you go with like we'll say like even a sharpshooter start. Like it's not that hard to deal with because you usually have like a stable defense set up. Even if you go with like a wall of fire or something like that, like they're usually pretty easy to deal with, right?
That's true. So we could say like maybe a C.
C is respectable.
Because like C, I mean, people could argue that the black and white balloons are a little bit more difficult than the pink, but just sometimes they come out so quick, you're just not ready for it. I think it's round 50. Yeah, round 15 comes to mind. That thing just wrecks you sometimes. You lose a lot of lives.
Oh yeah, true.
So C, let's just leave it C for now. Is that cool?
C is fine, yeah, for sure.
Okay, now the next one goes there.
Ooh, the DDT balloons.
I already
Now,
did it.
when you're first starting off in BT6, 100% S tier. And then even if you're a little bit more advanced in BT6, like DTs, we'll leave that in S tier for sure.
Well, because like, yeah, I'll even have struggles now. Like I was just making that video the other day where I think it was with the druids. No, it was with the ice monkey. I was doing something with an ice monkey and I was trying to icicle impale them all and he just didn't. It was like too much for the damaging towers to damage even though he had them all frozen. And I'm like, no. And so you'll just forget so many little things, dude. Or like the boomerangs, you're just like, oh, the permacharge will do great, but then it doesn't pop leads because you don't have the lead path upgrade and you just lose to them. You're like, oh no. So that kind of goes through my mind.
That's where you get the MIB, bro. But yeah, like DTs are definitely S tier. A lot harder to pop than a ZOMG, but definitely not as hard to pop as the camo regen fortified red balloon. Next up, a rainbow balloon.
It's again, to me, it's like the green balloon. I don't even notice it.
Guess the rainbow balloons can be a little bit tricky some point. I know technically the rainbow balloon isn't a regen balloon for this example, but that's like the first thing that I think of is like regen rainbow balloons. And I'm going to reference the Bloons TD Balloons 2 again because, you know, I've been doing a lot of the whole BTD Balloons 2 thing and worst game ever, why? But they could be a little bit of a pain to deal with in that game. But BT6, really not that big of a deal, right?
Pretty much. That's the way I see it, yeah. And definitely that's how I've won a lot of my games when I used to play. Back in my old days when I used to play Battles too. That's how I won a lot of games with the rainbows.
Back in my days, sonny.
So
when the XP grind used to take 17 years, brother.
it did. It's like, oh, I like the super monkey. Too bad you can't use it.
Exactly.
All right, we can't just be so bitter about Battles 2. This is BTD6. Where is this rainbow color going?
Oh, right there in B.
Right there in B? You're just trying to make it symmetrical?
Exactly.
I feel it.
Next up, we have the red balloon.
I mean, we don't really need to talk about this one, yeah?
I mean, other than the countless times I've died to a single red balloon in Chimps, really no issues.
I mean, if you want to take that into account, you could say C, because like, yeah, when you're trying to perfect a chimp strategy and one red balloon gets by on like round 6 or 7, you're like, oh man.
Let's not overthink this too much. Red balloon is in D tier.
Okay, whatever. Trying to argue. I'm trying to be an advocate because the red balloon just doesn't get enough love and you're over there just dissing on it. Next is Bloonarius, which I off the first bat would say like, oh man, he's kind of tough. But then after Lich came out, you realize just how easy Bloonarius is.
Honestly, Bloonarius really isn't hard to deal with at all. You just need one sticky bomb, grab yourself a tier 4 bottom pathway attack shooter and call it a day.
So B for Bloonarius.
B for Bloonarius, 100%. Like Bloonarius is not hard at all to pop.
Okay. We're speeding through this end part here because I could say yellow just a quick C tier because it's just like the pink balloon.
Pretty much like yeah, the yellow balloon is pretty much exactly like the pink balloon. You don't really notice it.
Okay, then the next one's gonna be the bad. Now this one could be a debate because I personally hate this Moab or whatever you want to call it. I don't like him at all. I just have a big vendetta against the bad.
Bad balloons. When you're first starting off in BT6 can be like, what is that? I have no idea how to pop that. When you start playing a little bit more BT6, you learn about the first strike, you learn about like a bunch of different towers that can deal with it. It's not as big a deal as you would think it would be. At the same time, I would rank this among Bloonarius, I guess, because Bloonarius and the Bad Balloon are pretty much similar, right?
Well, here's my counter argument, and I feel like this would apply to a lot of players that don't have like a bajillion hours on the game like we do. The reason I don't like the bad, I dislike him, is that you have to preemptively play the game. You can't react to the game. So like, let's say that you run out of, you're like, oh man, this round's giving me some troubles. You restart the round and you add something to the game. You can't do that because like on 98 and 99, you want to freeze those DDTs. You want to slow them down, or 98 as well. So you want to get a glue gun or you want to get an ice tower. And then you get to 100 and those do absolutely nothing and you lose because you don't have enough attack power for the bad. I hate that he's like resilient to everything. And it makes it like if you're just trying to react to round 100, you can't. You have to know what you're doing.
So A tier?
Sorry, that was a deep dive into the bad. I've just lost so many games because I'm like, well, I want to do this really cool strategy on 98 or 99, and then I have nothing for 100, and it's like, oh, that's kind of lame, you know?
I can respect the A tier for the bad balloon. It's not super hard to deal with, but it definitely is a little bit more on the difficult side. Next up is the golden balloon, right?
Here, I got one for this one.
Uh-oh. Dumb. Just the golden balloon's dumb. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Do you remember when the gold balloon was first introduced?
Oh yeah, and it just wrecked all your spikes, or you would like lose on Chimps.
I remember trying to play Dark Castle Chimps, And for those of you guys who know like Dark Castle Chimp, you rely heavily on your spike factory. But with this boy, it's just like, oh, lottie dottie, I'm just gonna go ahead and burst through your spikes and then just ruin your entire game.
Exactly. That's why the first thing that pops in my head is how dumb this thing. I think I've popped 3 on just accident. Didn't even know they were there. I purposely dodge it and just like, stay away from me.
You don't pop the golden balloon unless it's by accident. Like they're like it's just that dumb.
Yeah, imagine trying to pop the golden balloon. Imagine being that guy.
All right, next up, zebra. I'm saying C because there isn't a single round that pops in my head where the zebra balloons have ever been an issue.
I feel that, but I warned you earlier. Do you think zebras are white stripes with black skin or black skin with white stripes?
Oh, it's definitely white skin with black stripes.
Seriously?
Because just look at them.
This looks like a zebra. Who the heck is that?
Are you looking up a zebra right now?
Zebra. That looks like a zebra. That's definitely black with white stripes, fool. Look at that.
I think it's more white with black stripes.
All right, comments, let us know below because this will be an age-old battle.
Oh my goodness.
And
dude.
Titan's wrong. Just put Titan's wrong in chat.
All right, so we have BFB up next. I'm not gonna get too much into that zebra comment. Come on, no.
The big balloon.
The big fat boy.
Oh, there you go. I like that one better. Mine just had to be beeped.
So with the BFB balloon, again, not too hard to deal with. The hardest BFB to deal with is probably around 98 or around 60. But we usually deal with them pretty easily, right?
Yeah, definitely. They're a quick shot. I mean, the only thing that pops into my mind is like Flooded Valley Chimps, but that's situational. This guy's not that bad. C tier, I like it. And now last but not least.
All right, and dude, the Lich. And it's not even the Lich that's hard. It's the reinforced Moab balloons that are a pain.
Yeah, it's the fact that you're like waiting for them to come out so you can kill them so you can start popping him again. Meanwhile, he's already gone past your tax zone. You're like, oh my gosh, here we go. So it's
so Lich is definitely like an S tier balloon for sure.
Yeah, because he's no
Easy.
Bloonarius. Bloonarius would have been S like if we'd done this before Lich, and then after Lich, you're like, oh, Bloonarius is actually pretty
Yeah, it's
easy.
just like you look forward to the weeks where we have Bloonarius as the boss.
Exactly.
And we left out one balloon to balloon, and I think you know what this one is.
We didn't leave it out, dude. This was never there. It's been hidden this whole time, the almighty camo balloon. And if we don't have camo vision, which we do not right now, you can't see it at all. But what you can see is this video with all of these balloons in action on this video here, showing you exactly the best strategy in the game at this moment and just forever, to be honest. Do you want to say bye?
Nah.
Will you do that thing that you did earlier?
No.
Just for like the outro.
How long was that recording? Like,
Oh, it's still going.
oh my goodness.
I forgot to turn it off. I was hoping you'd go,